With all the crap that's come out this year, it's almost hard to forget some of the crap that came out the year before, like in 2022, like the Rings of Power.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
One of the biggest failures we've ever seen, taking a massively popular IP and destroying it, all in the name of identity politics. We've seen that often, but it's not every day that someone spends $1 billion plus for 2 seasons of a series. But that's what the case was with Amazon and Rings of Power. Then we started finding out the reality after they did everything to protect it, including deactivating ratings, removing bad reviews on IMDb, all of this nefarious shit that Amazon tried to do to get away with it. We found out the reality. The Rings of Power was a massive flop that most viewers gave up on. Only 37% of people actually finished this series. And as we wait to see when season 2 is going to be released, and in all likelihood it'll get even worse, we just found out something else, that it looks like Amazon's not doing great right now. Amazon to lay off several hundred across Prime Video and Amazon MGM Studios. Now, this is even before all the news about Twitch came out. They're laying off 35% of their staff. But yes, Prime Video, the people that spent $1 billion for 2 seasons of this shit show, of this dumpster fire, yes, they're laying off hundreds of people, almost like these things have ramifications. When you continue to make this bullshit over and over and over again and are spending hundreds of millions, if not billions, eventually you got to cut some things out. It looks like that's what Prime Video had to do.
You can't keep making dog shit that people don't like. It's not a very complicated situation. It's just not. I mean, it's hard making good movies. It's hard making things that people are going to continue to come back to, but it's not hard to try to put the best effort forward. If you're doing that with fans, if you're at least trying to do something that is honoring and respecting the franchise and the lore, even if people don't love it, they're at least going to appreciate that you're trying. But when you're actively just being disrespectful over and over and over again, people are not going to come back to it. This is not fucking difficult at all. It's just not. I don't know why they continue to find themselves in this position, but a lot of it's arrogance. A lot of it is arrogance. It even goes something like a company that is successful, Nintendo. Their arrogance got the best of them. Someone put a chart up of the Wii, 100 million units sold. The Wii U, 13 million. And then the Switch goes back to 100 million. So it's like arrogance can get the best of you. And that even got to Nintendo with their arrogance. Amazon has a different level of arrogance, though, just like Disney, just like Warner Brothers. They have a different level of arrogance. And I mean, Amazon's one of the most successful companies in the world. But I mean, this is like, I saw that Twitch is even laying people off. You know what I mean? Which is another
and
Amazon.
obviously Twitch is connected to Amazon, and Twitch has had some really bad PR, but also other places like Kick and Rumble that are peeling people away as well, some of their content creators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. When you're blessed to have one of the greatest properties of all time in Lord of the Rings, and you have made it into a complete shit show with identity politics, people are not going to respond to this. And this was the most expensive show ever produced, correct? Rings of Power.
100%, yeah.
And when your ROIs are, there's no way you got your ROI. There's no way with that piece of garbage. There's no way that was going to happen. So again, you get what you deserve. And whether it's Disney, whether it's Warner Brothers, whether it's Amazon, have we had Netflix go through this yet? Like a mass layoff?
You know, I feel like Netflix went through a little bit of a rough patch as everyone else was kind of starting theirs not that long ago, but they came out, they're gaining subs massively again. So I do remember a couple layoffs that they had, remember, because it was particularly in like the people of color like things. You know what I mean? Because they had like a division that specifically was all about like LGBTQ shit or like black people shows or whatever, that those got hit hardest with layoffs because no one was watching those shows. So that was probably back in 2021 or 2022, something like that. But they came out of it and they're still growing.
Yeah. And so, I mean, again, it's just, to me, it's at its core, it's arrogance. It's really what this comes down to. And Amazon definitely has a lot of arrogance with their company, with how successful they are. But just because you're successful in one area doesn't mean you're automatically going to be successful in another. Like, I don't even like Amazon Prime that much. We've talked about this with even the UI. You know what I mean? Like the user interface, I think it's terrible on Amazon Prime. I don't even like going to Amazon Prime, and I don't even like going there to surf through to see what they have. Whereas Netflix, I always find myself surfing through Netflix to see what they have. It's just a little simple detail that I think matters in the big scheme of things. So
actions have consequences, apparently, and they've got some good stuff on Amazon that they're producing for a fraction of the cost of Rings of Power. They should focus more on that stuff instead of garbage that fans hate, that nobody wants, that it's all an effort to destroy Tolkien's world and his legacy in order to promote someone's identity politics.
We didn't want to put any of our own baggage. I mean, we had no interest in putting our messages into this movie.
You're staying for dinner.
He's leaving.
He's staying.
He's leaving.
He's staying.
But we thought that we should honor Tolkien by putting his messages into it.
It is a beautiful tradition.